divorce on its own is so multi-pronged that when you choose to specialize in it, you get to see that with every matter that comes along, there's always something new that you're learning. It's okay to lie to everybody about why you want to get married, but be honest with yourself about why you want to get married. Keep the connection that your child has with his paternal side of the family.
Let me introduce to you the new kid on the block. Mel La Vie is a new skincare range that recently launched. It is for face and for body. We deal with hyperpigmentation, anti-aging, wrinkles, natural glow. We also deal with dark inner areas. We target dark inner thighs, dark armpits, dark neck, dark elbows, dark knees, you name it. We also have a shaving combo. This shaving combo deals with ingrowns and shaving bumps. Both men and women can use this good quality product shaving range. We've got good actives in our product from glycolic acid, hyaluronic acid, kojic acid, and many more. You can contact us on the WhatsApp number that is popping on the screen, or you can reach out to us on all our social media platforms. We are here for all your skin needs. Welcome to The Working Wife, The Working Woman podcast. And I'm your host, Promise Makunyane. This podcast is really about women working, women inspiring each other to work. I always say it is good to have a man do stuff for you, but it's much more better if you can do stuff for yourself. This is a podcast for women, whether you're married or not. I just bring, different women to come here and inspire us in what they do, how they started, where they're from, and also add knowledge to us with whatever that they're doing. And today is... Actually, before I introduce my guest, we do have a sister podcast on the very same channel. It's called O Narrative Podcast, and it's about marriage and family dynamics. And I think today's episode, it's more, you're going to touch on the marriage and family dynamics, and then also tell us about your business side of things.
Okay.
Madam, welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here. I watch your podcast quite a lot. And the one that really, really spoke to me is the one where you were interviewing Mayende.
Yeah.
About her divorce and her recovery and where she is as a single parent that has survived a divorce. So I'm a divorce attorney. So I listened to it very closely, and I was very proud of how she came out of this traumatic journey.
Yeah.
It's a traumatic journey.
You're going to tell us about that from the side of a specialist, like you're dealing with divorce from the other side.
Yes.
So it will be interesting to know about that part. But before we get into your job and everything, we want to know you.
Okay.
Who you are. We already know that you're a divorce attorney, but who you are, you're a mom, your name and everything else.
Okay. So my name is Daphne Masego Mangadi. I'm commonly known as Masego Mangadi. I come from Mangadi Masego Attorneys. I am a divorce attorney. No, I'm not married. No, okay. I don't have children.
Okay.
There's a cost to everything.
Yes.
When you throw yourself fully into your career, you tend to neglect the other side of things. You tend to neglect the social life. You tend to neglect the love life. And with the biological clock ticking, you remember that, I'm no longer 20. I'm actually heading into my 30s, and we still don't have a child. So what keeps me preoccupied 6 days out of the 7 days of the week, it's my job, unfortunately so. Because, I'm dealing in an area of law that is very personal. And when a divorcing client, whether be it a woman or a man, calls, they expect you to answer. And they expect you to have, to provide them with a good answer, to be available to have a conversation with them. Because in as much as you're an attorney, you're also a counselor somehow in all of that. So that is me, actually.
In a nutshell.
It's
funny that you say that your clients, you're also a counselor, We did our post-nuptial contract recently, and then everything, we got the court order, we signed, so we are done. We are married out of community without accrual. the attorney, I remember I was speaking to the attorney and she was saying, if I do my work like I am, like, she didn't say it how I'm going to say it, but basically is that divorcing clients, most especially when they come, I'll spend the first maybe 10 minutes, the woman crying and all those things. So you end up being a psychologist now. You end up also being a woman to woman and stuff like that. How do you manage that? Because obviously you charge per hour or whatever. And how do you manage that? Or you're okay with saying, Promise, just come here and break down. I'll listen to you before.
Having chosen to specialize in the area of divorce, I developed a style of doing my consultations.
Okay.
So my policy is that the first consultation is obligation free. So in that first consultation, I first have to determine if I'm a good fit for you as a divorce attorney.
Oh.
And you also determine if I'm a good fit for you as a divorce attorney, because it really becomes a personal relationship, even though it is a professional relationship in a way, because you let me into your personal space.
Yeah.
You tell me things that you wouldn't even tell your best friend or your close confidant, because you want to have the benefit of me advising you on the truth. So in that first consultation, I will determine what the cost of taking you on as a client is.
Sure.
Will I handle it? And am I for you? Because energy doesn't lie at the end of the day.
Okay.
So in that first consultation, I would start off by saying, I'm going to ask you questions. You don't tell me anything. Then I ask you questions. At the end of the questions, I then say, is there anything of relevance that you feel that I ought to know about what we've just spoken about? Then you'll tell me. The breaking down certainly does happen in the course of me asking the questions, because one of the questions that I ask is, in earnest, do you want to see this divorce to finality, or are you just doing it as a scare tactic? Are you doing it to get the attention of your spouse? Are you doing it to get the attention of your in-laws? What's the deal? Tell me so that I can also understand how vested you need me to be.
So the people that come and want to scare the other people. Actually, yes.
And you wouldn't pass judgment when you understand how people are living in the privacy of their homes. I told this person that I will leave if they choose to be absent from the home. Physically, they are there, but emotionally, they are absent.
Yeah.
And because you have put down an ultimatum, you have to follow through with it. So you come to me, we do the divorce summons, but you are honest with me to say, Masego, I put this ultimatum down. I put this ultimatum down saying that I will follow through with divorce, but at the same time, I'm not going to turn down any efforts of reconciliation. I totally understand that.
Sure. Complex. Very complex. So you say that you have the first obligation-free meeting or consultation. What client wouldn't you take? How can this one? This promise you are not my fit, or like however that you professionally tell your client. What kind of a situation would that be? Or what kind of a client will that be?
I think a weakness that I have is that maybe I could do better in the department of patience. So a client that doesn't listen is a client that I'm not likely to take.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't mean that. Obviously, I advise you on the amount for maintenance for your child, and you'll tell me, no, I don't want that amount. That's fine. I can live with it.
Yeah.
But listen in that we've already spoken about the consequences of not paying maintenance. And then we revisit this topic as though we've never spoken about it before.
I hear you.
Then that for me is a deal breaker. Because remember, I'm vested in this.
Yeah.
I'm in a consultation with you. I'm selling time. And I'm just focusing on you for that particular hour. So I want to believe that whatever I'm saying, I'm not saying it in vain. And I want to believe that whatever I'm doing with you, it's going to go somewhere. Yeah. It's going to propel you into your new life. Divorce is not necessarily negative. It's a rebirth.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Mayende was telling the viewers at home. It's a rebirth. After divorcing, she became entrepreneurial. Yeah. After divorcing, she understood that she had to assume all these financial responsibilities on her own. So she came into her the better version of herself.
Yeah.
So in the questions that I would ask you, I would determine why are we getting divorced. So once I'm clear on the why, my strategy and the advice that I give to you will be aligned to the why.
Just about take you back to, I think let's just go in it actually, because it's going to now dilute the conversation, because I wanted to ask you, why did you study? But we can always just go visit that at the end. But I want us to continue to say, let me take you to why you studied, why you wanted to specialize in divorce. Is it a specialty?
Yes, it is certainly a speciality. It's very involved because in a divorce, there are so many things that spring out of it. It's maintenance of the children, maintenance of the spouse, pending divorce litigation. It's also protection orders. You know, with GBV, you'd be stunned at what actually happens in people's homes. The most educated of educated people, the most affluent of affluent people, they also fall victim to GBV.
Sure.
So it's an issue of now having to do a protection order at the same time. Then it's an issue of getting the family advocate involved. The family advocate is an officer of the court. The family advocate works for the Department of Justice, and the family advocate would interview the children and both parents of the children to write up a report recommending who should get primary residence of the children, to write up a report advising whether or not the needs of the children have been properly catered for in this divorce. So divorce on its own is so multi-pronged that when you choose to specialize in it, you get to see that with every matter that comes along, there's always something new that you're learning.
Sure.
With any matter that comes along, there's always a nuance that you have to address. With every matter that comes along, there's always more case law to read up on.
With the clients that you have that come to your office, what is the common reason that you find it's a pattern that people are divorcing? And is it the woman or the man that...
We live in an era of instant gratification.
Sure.
We live today, you know. Unfortunately, when we go back to the times of our grandparents, I'm not even saying our parents, I'm going to go to our grandparents' route. Whatever happens, you don't leave. Whatever happens, we fix it. Whatever happens, we stay the course. In this day and age, unfortunately, more emphasis is put on the wedding day, the celebration. More emphasis is put on the cosmetic things, the lifestyle. And now when the popo hits the fan and we have to navigate issues of finance, issues of family dynamics. You know, my family, I'm coming from a family that is like this. Now I'm getting married into your family. I'm the missus. What expectations do my in-laws have of me? Expectations from the parents-in-law to the siblings of my husband. And it can be on the other side as well, to the siblings of your wife.
Yeah.
So bottom line, why do people divorce? Marokari,
no, like just speaking about us now, as married people now, I think there's just a lot. There's a lot that goes in our marriages that when somebody really wants to divorce, they have done it all. Like, abana filter, you know, they go all out. Like, won't take that. So I don't really, I just think the marriages now, man, they are too much. There's nobody that can khotlela like all those things that happens in marriages, you know? Or there's less people that can actually like the things that go in marriages.
You know, we are saying we recognize that there's a problem here in our marriage. What are we going to do to redress, to fix that problem? And I'm coming from the angle of that people are not prepared to do the work to fix. Yes. People see divorce as an easy way out. Okay, I'm having difficulty with your alcoholism. I'm having difficulty with the fact that you lack emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
I'm having difficulty with the fact that you don't know how to prioritize. those are valid reasons for wanting divorce.
Yeah.
But with those problems come solutions, and people are not prepared to put in the work.
Put in the work.
People
yes.
say, let's get divorced and let me move on to the next partner.
I think that's one thing. I think that's one thing that we have to still speak about, because for me, if I divorce, should I divorce? I don't think the next partner thing would be the next thing that I would do. But anyway, we'll just visit that later. Let's go into what you do. You watched Pindy's episode, right? And Pindy is an empowered divorced woman. You know, you hear in the way she speaks, in the way that she takes accountability, in the parts and the roles that she played in marriage, right? What happens now? She's out of the marriage. The divorce decree has been given. The man is not paying maintenance or is having difficulty with the man paying maintenance. As a wife that has a divorce decree that has all those things lined up, what the husband should do, but they are not doing, what then do you do in that instance?
Okay. You have the option of taking your ex-husband to family court, to maintenance court, to sue him for maintenance. Now, the advantage of actioning for maintenance post-divorce is that you don't need an attorney. So you can go to the maintenance court, which is often the magistrate's court closest to where you reside. You would, of course, provide details of what it costs to maintain the children. You would provide details of what you earn on a monthly basis. And the maintenance court would summon your ex-spouse to come through for a hearing and to provide reason for why he's not paying maintenance, or why the maintenance that he's paying is sufficient, and why he cannot pay more maintenance.
Yeah.
So that is an option that is available. But remember, when we do get divorced, there are instances where the divorcing couple would have a settlement agreement. That settlement agreement becomes an order of court, and that settlement agreement would provide for how much the father of the children would have to pay for maintaining the children post-divorce. So if the father defaults on maintenance, you can go back to the maintenance court. But remember that going back to the maintenance court, you bear the risk of that maintenance order being varied. Varied in the sense that the father is ill affording of the monies that he's supposed to pay, probably because there's been a change in circumstance. He's lost his job, or his job doesn't pay as much, or he has moved on and he has more children. And having more children means that I cannot maintain children of my previous marriage like I used to before, because now the paycheck is smaller and there are more mouths to feed.
Yeah.
So going back to what Pindi Yende said, she said, I made the decision not to follow up on holding him accountable for maintenance. He's not even bought any Albani bread. I'm not about to do that. So you have to then make a choice for yourself. Are you going to spend time chasing him? Or are you going to spend time empowering yourself for you to be able to look after your children really well? So I circle back to why the first consultation is obligation-free and why it is important.
Yes.
If you want to use the divorce as a means of clawing back what you've lost in the marriage, I put in so much money in the marriage, I gave up my career for this person, I'll outright tell you that write it off as a loss. The divorce is not going to make good on what you've plowed into this person, time-wise, financially, emotionally. And if you can't see that, then I'm not the divorce attorney for you.
I like you.
I prefer a client that understands that we are divorcing so that you can usher yourself into the
Your
new chapter of life. You know?
Yeah.
And again, at the end of the day, yes, it's a settlement agreement. Yes, it's an order of court. No individual can be made to do anything that they don't want to do.
100%.
Even if it's an order of court, you can't make them do what they don't want to do. There are some that even go to the lengths of resigning.
I shared something like that. Where somebody doesn't want to pay maintenance, but they just resign. I don't have a job.
Exactly.
Sure.
So when you are ready to get divorced, I think Sis Pindi said, I went and I saw a psychologist and we mapped out an exit plan. An exit plan is to say, post-divorce, what am I going to be doing with myself professionally?
Yeah.
When you are ready to get divorced, you also reckon with the consequences of divorce, meaning that you may have to carry these children alone.
Yeah.
He moves on. He
Yes.
goes on to have another family.
Yeah.
So the support that you were counting on him for the school fees for private schooling
Yeah.
may dwindle.
Yeah. Sure.
And a decision or a plan is not a plan if it's dependent on the next
On the
person.
next person. That's powerful. My ladies are going to love me for this episode. Because, and that's why I always say maybe people get divorced for, I want to divorce, and that person says go ahead. And then now you're forced to go ahead with the divorce, right? And maybe they get divorced with not being ready to divorce. And that's why for me, marriage is very personal. You know, I'm getting married, you'll know I'm married. And when I'm getting divorced, you'll know I'm getting divorced. Don't even think for a day. You're going to hear me chase you. You're going to hear me do this or that, you know, or even online, whatever, talking about, this will be my next chapter, and then I'll be done with it. And I will be sure that I'm not going to be. I was speaking with Pindi here, and maybe I'm speaking because I'm not in the situation. But for me, when I see divorce, I'm not going to go to a maintenance court. I'm not going to go to believe it or not. If you are going to send money, great. You know where the kids go to school. You know how much they eat. You know where we stay, all those things. Be rest assured, your next wife, will never hear from me bothering the relationship. You understand? So I feel that, and this is me. That's why I'm saying this is me. And maybe I'm speaking because I'm not in that situation. But I know for a fact, I'm a very decisive person. And somebody who is not paying maintenance, for example, if they are not paying maintenance, if they don't want to pay, they don't want to pay maintenance. And they will make sure that they don't pay maintenance. They will cause you frustration. They will cause you... I was saying on that, guys, we'll put the episode Pindi here. If you didn't watch it, watch it, you know. Because somebody who does not want to pay maintenance, they really do not want to pay maintenance. So if I'm going to enforce the law on them, they want to frustrate me.
You're wasting time and you're
I'm
losing
wasting
focus.
time, and I'm losing focus, wasting time for me to be ways on how I can manage these kids. Downgrade these kids to a point where you can take care of them. Downgrade where you stay to a point where you can take care of yourself. I'm not running and this is why I'm saying, I might say this now and say something different, but as I stand, I'm not that candidate, you know? And do you see how Pindi, you know, when I speak to people, you can hear that this is a healed woman who's okay with eating one slice with the kids than being able to chase that man who will frustrate me even more and make me lose myself even more and not be able to take care of these kids, you know? So I love that. And as we're saying, we're not sitting here saying wives mustn't claim maintenances. No, we're speaking about our own opinions and about our sides. How would run our own lives? Because people will be saying, yeah, Promise is saying we must not go. No, I'm not saying anybody shouldn't go to maintenance. I'm saying me. And remember, I'm speaking when I'm not in that position yet. So fine. Let's speak about the contracts, the marriage contracts. Married in community of property, you divorce. What happens to the house? Because in most cases, the wives are forced to, I know about but it's not public yet, but they have got a house, they've divorced, because the husband is the one that pays for the bond, has kicked the wife out, and is left with the kids in the house. This wife, I always say that I will never go out of my household without my kids. But when I'm walking out of the door, I'm going to walk out with my kids. And this is because I've said with women here that were alienated from their children just because kids are because the kids is here, you pay here and blah, blah, blah. I won't do that. So that person, the husband, said, no, I pay here, so you must go. So she left, and then now she visits her kids. So what is the thing? What should wives do when they are in a bond house, that they're married in community of property and the marriage is falling apart and they cannot stay in that house anymore?
Okay. So we are married in community of property, meaning what you own, I own, what I own, you own, right? The house is still bonded, so it still belongs to the bank, right? So in the course of divorce, we try and reach settlement. Settlement can take on various postures. The posture of, okay, the wife, the wife who may have means to do so can say, let me buy you out. Let me buy you out of your share of the house and let me remain as the sole owner of the house. One. Or it can be a situation where they say, let's sell the house and let's split the proceeds of the house 50-50 post paying the balance of the bond, right? Or it can be a situation where if we cannot reach settlement, then a receiver and liquidator is brought in to basically liquidate the entire estate, including the major asset in the estate, which is the matrimonial house. Now, typical situation, I'm a Mrs. So-and-so. I am married in community property to Mr. So-and-so. He's been the one that's been paying the bond because he's got the better paying job. And we live in this house together with the children. It could happen that once we divorce, as the wife, I now become entitled to 50% of the husband's pension shares. Sure. Possibly the pension has been, possibly the husband has been working for a government department for so long, and now I'm possibly going to walk away with close to 700 or maybe 800,000 rands in pension monies. And so I can decide I'm going to use that money to buy you out, or I can decide I'm going to use that money as a deposit for a new house and top it up with the proceeds from the sale of this current house. So that is one option.
Yeah.
You know.
But those are sane people, like maybe, and those are like in the long run. But the day to day, the particular person I'm speaking about, the husband said, go, or else you'll remain here and pay the bond.
Okay, so now this is where I also come in the course of the divorce. Then we raise what we call a Rule 43 application, maintenance pending litigation, right? So in that Rule 43, we then say the wife earns so much, the bond of the house is so much. These are her living expenses. And this is how much the husband earns. This is how what the husband was doing in sustaining the whole family, including payment of the bond. So in that application, we would then claim for payment of the bond pending litigation. Pending
the husband will
litigation.
still pay the bond.
The husband will still pay the bond.
You see, the information is so important. And that's why when I saw your thing, I was like, I need to have, because those things are the things that we wives, we don't know. Once now, then you know you're going to pack up, because if you stay here, you won't be able to pay for the bond.
No. You don't stay. In fact, I've had instances where I would issue the divorce summons and the Rule 43 application and the settlement agreement in one go. So the sheriff of the court would go to Mr. So-and-so and say, we hereby...
Mr. Magunyan.
Yes. We hereby serve you these 3 documents on behalf of your wife through the courts. So here's the divorce summons. This is what it will look like if we don't resolve this amicably. And then here's the settlement agreement. This is what we can do to end this now. And and here is the Rule 43. So in case you decide to become adversarial and go on the attack, we're going to do the Rule 43 immediately. And the Rule 43 is sobering, because remember that the Rule 43 is maintenance pending litigation. There are divorce matters that go on forever and ever based on the complexity of the joint estate. So you'll find that the Rule 43 says you are to pay your wife an X amount of money every month until finalization of the divorce. It's a tactic that works because people sober up very quickly. So we are not likely to spend 4 weeks arguing about, let me take this car and then you take this car. Because you are paying every month, because you understand that the longer that this stretches, the more costly it is to your cash flow, you will make up your mind very quickly.
Very quickly. Sure. That's very important. Like, it's important information. So now going into the children. Premise decides, Mr. Law, I'm not going to claim maintenance. I'm going to take care of these kids. He's still entitled to see the very same kids.
Okay. Again, the importance of the first consultation that you and I have, where I say it's obligation-free.
Yeah.
My values and your values have to align. And I even go as far as to tell you that as ugly as this may get, please understand the consequence of raising children that are coming out of a broken marriage. So mothers, if you've got boy children, understand the importance of making sure that the bond between father and son is not disrupted, right? So we can fight about maintenance, we can fight about division of assets, but we don't fight about right of contact and right of visitation. You don't do that. Because you may even have a situation where we go through the turmoil of divorce, and then we go through the phase of healing from the divorce. And then we forget that that child that was there, that was experiencing everything, that was witnessing everything, has not had a chance to heal.
Yes.
And how do they act out? They become bullies in the playground. They become mean. They become angry. They become disinterested in communication and becoming part of the household. They isolate themselves. So we can do all things, but do not disrupt the bond that exists between the father and the child. Don't do that. It will count against you as the mother, because at the end of the day, you must understand that you can't be all things to your child. You're the mother. You can't be the father. No, you can't.
Yes. Sure. And I know Pindi, we'll always go back to Pindi's episode. Pindi's ex-husband has not discarded them or deserted them. He's no longer seeing the kids. With your advice, and that's another thing. That's why I'm like, if I don't want to be present, maybe financially in my kid's life, my husband cannot force me to do that. You know, if I don't want to see the kids, because I find other women, Barry, he doesn't want to come to see the kids. Now they are forcing that bond to happen. You can't force the bond to happen as such. What would you advise? Obviously, legally, there is nothing. You cannot say, hi, this person must come. Nah, I think I can do it in a sense that I want to go on a trip and not these people that don't know where to take them. The father must come and take them.
Okay. Do what you can to encourage that relationship. Okay? And maybe let me look at the African context of things. You know, in the African context, the child belongs to the family, right? The child doesn't just belong to you. So when we were married, the child would go and see your mother-in-law for holidays. When we were married, the child would sleep over at the cousin's house. When we were married, we would take part in family gatherings, in Christmas festivities and all of that. Even though you are getting divorced to Joseph, you're not getting divorced to Joseph's mother, to Joseph's siblings, to Joseph's uncles. That is not the case. So what you can do is to keep the connection that your child has with his paternal side of the family.
Even if it's whoever from the paternal side. I hear you.
Do that, because you're also helping the child in their identity. The child is carrying the father's surname, not your surname.
That's so important.
And remember that even though you are divorced, you are raising this young man to be somebody's boyfriend, to be somebody's fiance, to be somebody's husband, to be somebody's father. So you can't do that on your own. You need a holistic input of varied members of the family. Uncles, aunts. I'm sure you've seen how your sisters relate with your children. There are things that they do together. Yes. Exactly.
You know. Sure, it's so complex. You know, when we have this conversation, you just see everything is file in this marriage, you know, or with even having kids, like it's deeper than just me being a mom or me being a wife, you know. Yeah. And another thing is that we speak over the kids. For example, if I'm going through a divorce and we don't consider the kids, it's just me and him fighting. And under here, there are kids that want to see the dad, want to see the mom, or that are just watching you guys like be in a turmoil. So it's deep. Having kids it's actually very deep.
You know, going back to the first consultation again,
Yeah.
when we were in that consultation and I realized something, I'll let you know and say the precondition to us continuing with this divorce together is that you have to go for counseling. Remember?
I promise.
You have to go for counseling because as an attorney, I'm a creature of instruction. Whatever I do, I act on your instructions. But you need to give me instructions from a sober mind.
You need to be sober-minded, yeah.
So I will say to you, this is my recommendation. I think you need to go for counseling. And once you are going for these counseling sessions, come back and let's do this. We'll run the divorce, but you need to go for counseling every second or third week. And, you know, there's no excuse for saying, I'm not going to counseling because I'm ill affording of counseling. Your public clinics, they've got counselors.
Yeah.
Wherever you work, there is counseling for employees. Your church, they've got free counseling.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we should all be going for counseling because mental health is a very, very important thing. You know?
There is a case of a lady who's customarily married. And it's a lobola 10 years ago. Lobola. Then after lobola, the husband has been working. She's always been a housewife. The husband has been working. Then maybe when the husband now's business starting to pick up, they go and do a post an antenuptial. They had the celebration and then they have the antenuptial. Maybe 2 years later, when the husband's business are starting to, now they're starting to say, let's protect. They have that. Now it's 10 years later. They are divorcing. This woman told the guy that it's fine. I just want this. The guy says, no, you are getting absolutely nothing out of me, and I'll make sure of that. And this woman now, her lawyer, and I just love now that, you know, this women lawyers now, they are standing up for the wives. You know, that lady told her that, no, you know, when she had the consultation, she said, no, okay, this guy now does not want to settle nicely, give you like the bare minimum of the whole estate. Now we're going to enforce the fact that the post-nuptial that you did 8 years ago, it's null and void. Now we are taking him there. That, okay, if you don't want us to say, just give me one car, just give me our other house, smaller house, and just give me 200,000, I'll go. Now this woman is saying, let's go there, let's take him there. Now they're like, okay, it's a whole court thing. Now she's saying, me and you are married in committee of property. 8 years, 10 years ago, the antenuptial is null and void. They now have a date. The date is next year. But so tell the viewers, because now I know now. Not been married for 7 years, but all these things I know them now. When I was doing the post-nuptial, I did not know anything. So what explain that? Just explain to them what happened in that marriage of my friend.
So now, this is what happens to many African girls.
Yeah.
Right. We start off with the lobola negotiations, right? And we go home, you know, we leave Gauteng, we go to Limpopo, we go to the Northwest or the Free State, and we have those lobola negotiations, and there's a lobola letter that's written, and we have a small thing where we have tea and a couple of drinks, and if, say, the lobola amount is 30,000 rand, I'm just quoting a typical lobola amount, and on that weekend, Mkhwenyane is only producing an envelope full of 5,000 rand.
Yeah.
When we come back to Johannesburg from home, Sunday, late Sunday, you are married. Understand that you are married, because going back to the Zulu saying of umakoti akaqedwe.
Yes.
It means exactly that. We don't have to take out the entire 30,000 rand. The mere 5,000 rand is enough. The mere 500 rand is enough as part payment of the lobola. So we are married. So how do we prove that there is a customary marriage in place? We prove it with the lobola letter. We prove it with the proof of payment. We prove it with the pictures that were taken on the day. So we are married. Now,
Yo, 500, now 500, you are married in community of property.
Exactly. We are married in community of property. And remember that just because the African customary law marriage has not been registered at Home Affairs does not mean that it is not in existence. Sure. So we are married. And in this situation, because we do things from a place of not knowing, we go on to say there's a white wedding that's coming up. After the white wedding, we're going to go to Home Affairs. So, but before the white wedding, let's go and see an attorney to do an anti-nuptial contract so that we are married out of community of property with accrual or without accrual, right? We go ahead and we do that. But in a messy divorce, when push comes to shove, and you are denying me of our things, and you are being malicious in that, then we go back to saying, do you want to see this divorce to finality? Yes. Do you want to see this divorce to finality on terms that make sense to you? Yes. So this is the cost. Let's go and litigate.
Yeah.
Let's revive the fact that we are actually married in terms of African customary law.
Sure. That's why she's like, I could not even believe it. You know, the person you marry is not the person you divorce, because she's like, I could not even believe I was asking for the bare minimum.
You know, one of the questions that I ask when you come for that first divorce consultation, I say, who is your close confidant? I also ask, what profession is your close confidant in?
Yeah.
Because when we go into the war ground of divorce, we are not dealing with your husband only. We are dealing with your husband and his entourage of advisors. So the advisor is the one, or the temperament of the advisor ultimately colors these divorce proceedings. So you psych yourself up and you ready yourself up for any eventuality.
Yeah.
You prepare yourself for the worst, which is why I say in a divorce that I can see is going to be highly contentious, and I'm the one that is actioning it through the client. I do the divorce summons, I do the settlement agreement, and I do the Rule 43 in one go.
You go with
to
the
say
guns.
to you, you tell me how you want us to do this. Which lane do you want us to pick?
Yeah. Sure. With somebody that is married out of community without accrual, how does the divorce go?
Married out of a community of property without accrual. Actually, that is my favorite one, personally. And I'll tell you why.
I'm your client then.
Yes. That is my favorite one personally. Let me just say what I mean by personally, that should I decide to get married, I would get married out of community of property without accrual.
Yeah.
Because in getting married in that way, I'm conscious of the fact that upon the dissolution of this marriage, either through death or through the divorce, I stand to gain nothing. My payday in the marriage is during the course of the marriage. So during the course of the marriage, I cannot rest on my laurels. What am I supposed to do? Yes, I can play wife. Yes, I can play mom, but I must not forget myself.
Yes, because you are alone.
Yes, I must remember that I need to build my career independently. I must remember that I need to show up for whatever it is that I need to show up for, because I have chosen to remain alone in not joining you in building your wealth.
Yeah.
So, for example, whatever you own and whatever you purchase in the course of a marriage stays yours.
Yeah.
And the same applies for me. So it helps you because how it but in a happy marriage, you'll have a husband that is hopefully willing to support you in you reaching your dreams.
Yeah.
So upon his death, we don't have a situation of, oh boy, hankabali thing, we will be having this. No. You've known that upon death, I may stand to walk away with nothing. Upon divorce, you are not in misery because you understood from the word go that his wealth is his wealth.
Yeah.
And you must build your wealth as well.
Yeah.
That one is an easy divorce because the points of contention are few. We don't have to have a fight over assets. We only have to have a fight over maintenance of the children.
Sure. So the obviously the children are the only thing that me and you actually we own together. Then all right. And then, like, I wanted to ask you that which marriage regime would you advise people that are planning to get married? So obviously you're saying out of community without accrual.
Okay. Now I'm going to be stealing somebody else's job, a marriage counselor. Now in divorce, I say, do you want to see this divorce to finality? And I expect that the marriage counselor would say, why do you want to get married? Right. And it's okay to lie to everybody about why you want to get married, but be honest with yourself about why you want to get married. Don't lie to yourself.
Yes.
Are you getting married for financial security? Are you getting married because everybody else around you is married, so let me just get married?
Yes.
Or are you getting married because you are so deeply religious that you believe that you can't have sex out of the bounds of marriage, you can't have children out of the bounds of marriage? So when you are clear on your reason for getting married, then your reason determines which marital property regime will work for you. So if you are getting married for security, in community is the best one.
Yeah.
If you are getting married for the sake of peer pressure and you just want to get married, then married out of community or property without accrual is the best one, because you don't know what that person's financial habits are. You don't know what that person's relationship with money is. If you are getting married because you want to build, you're getting married because you want companionship, you're getting married forever, I would say out of community or property with accrual, because we are now living in an era where people have side hustles. We are now living in an era where entrepreneurship is encouraged.
Yeah.
So you don't want to put your other spouse at risk. You want to protect the kitty of the household as much as possible.
Yeah.
So in choosing which matrimonial property regime is best for you, be honest with yourself with why you are getting married.
Sure.
And don't vilify yourself for saying I'm getting married because of financial security. Yeah, you're getting married because of financial security. And I'm sure your intelligent husband knows that. And he's marrying you because of aesthetic purposes.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's marrying you for dominance.
Oh.
It's a contract.
Yeah.
It's a business.
Yeah, it's the business.
Yes.
There's this a woman that I think is an American person. He's a divorce lawyer, Uri. He always says that if women understand that marriage is a business, then you won't be having a headache with divorces and stuff. If you enter knowing that I'm actually entering a business contract here, then you won't have problems. You keep saying you ask people that, do you want to see this divorce to finality? What does that mean? I hear it, but I just want you to break down that.
Okay. Do you want to see this divorce to finality is to say, are you prepared to bear the consequence of something dying?
Sure.
We are killing this marriage through divorce. Death brings a period of mourning. Death brings loss. Are you prepared to incur those consequences? Are you prepared to understand that the life that you are living as a married person is the life that you may not be living post-divorce? Are you prepared to understand that you will now have to do this life thing on your own? Are you prepared for that? Have you reconciled yourself to those consequences? Quite often they say yes. Then we go through the process of divorce. Now, in this divorce, understand that it's just not you and me as your divorce attorney. It is your husband and his divorce attorney and his entourage of advisors. So we go through this, and I can paint you as many scenarios as possible, but I cannot tell you that this is how the future is going to look as we are undergoing this process of divorce. He may retaliate in the most evil way,
Sure.
which is to not pay for your car, which is to not pay for your medical aid, which is not to pay the maintenance that he was paying for your mother that is back home, wherever. And those are things that you were not prepared for.
Yeah. Sure.
And very often as we go through this process of divorce, it's always a thing of, I want it to end, I want it to end. And I remind you, I said, remember you said you want to see this divorce to finality.
Ooh.
And you said you want to see it to finality on these terms. Is this still what you want, or do you want us to just pull the plug on it now? So it's tough. It really, really is tough.
Yeah.
Even with loss, we know that nothing lives or lasts forever.
Yeah.
And we've been to many funerals. But until it hits you, and until you incur that personal loss of losing somebody very close, then you don't quite know what that loss is all about until you go through it.
Yeah.
Which is why in some instances I'll say, you have to go and see a counselor before we begin this.
Because we're about to go into war.
Exactly.
Sure.
Not only war with the other person, but war with yourself
With
as well.
yourself.
Because now you're going to have a mirror reflection of all the choices that you made.
You've made.
You too are part to blame for the demise of this marriage.
100%. You're going to start seeing the blind spot, or, oh, I didn't see this, you know. And you always have to be ready for that. Lastly, I want to ask you, have you ever had a consultation and the person comes to tell you and you're like, why do you want to divorce? When you hear the reasons and you feel like you want to say, no, man, I don't think, like, go back and fix, or, you know. Have you ever had such, or you're like, yo, client, come here?
No, you know what? I actually like this colleague of mine who's also a divorce attorney. He will ask his questions and he'll say, okay, you're still living in the same house as your husband? Yes. You are still in the same bedroom? Yes. Okay, I'm going to require an X amount of deposit from you to see how serious you are. You are still living in the same bedroom, so I'm not too sure whether you are clear about going forward with this divorce. So the financial commitment also determines just how committed you are to going ahead with this divorce.
That's so funny. Yeah, yeah. Actually, we've run out of time. This is a conversation that has many sides to speak about, right? But so far, I think I've covered as much as the listener could want to learn. Lastly, I want to ask you, how much should I want to divorce, how much should I be looking at parting with? Or it depends if it's going to prolong or not prolong.
Our purses are not the same. The assets that we are likely to fight for in the divorce are not the same. So there isn't a set price for divorce for everybody.
Okay.
I mean, there's a famous politician that was on Robben Island that went through divorce, and his divorce cost in the millions.
Yeah.
Then there are really ill-affording people that are just average blue-collar workers who go to legal aid to get their divorce done.
Yeah.
So divorce is divorce, but the price varies depending on your affordability and where you go for that particular divorce. But remember, when you want the service, you pay for it.
Yes. It's a business.
When you want the service,
You will pay.
you pay for it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, goedkoop is duurkoop. Cheap is expensive.
Cheap is expensive. Hey.
But when you want the service, you
Yeah.
pay for it.
So, but what is the difference? Or the people that do divorces are a kiddie divorce lawyer. It's not just any other attorney.
Any attorney can do divorce.
Okay.
Any attorney can do a labor law dispute. Any attorney can do a criminal law matter. But again, as attorneys, we make choices that this is my area of specialty and this is what I do. So divorce is an area of specialty that I chose for myself because I had the passion for it, because I invested in it. And the advantages of going to somebody who specializes in that particular area of divorce is that you are likely to get more for your money and for your time.
Okay. Okay. Lastly, is there anything else that you'd like to share or teach or leave our people with?
Be clear on the why of any decision. Getting married, be clear on why you are getting married. Getting divorced, be clear on why you are getting divorced. And once you are clear on the why, have integrity to follow through with the why. Then you'll be fine.
I always say my dad is one person that knows me, and he always says that if there's one person that is decisive, it's you. It's me. Like he knows if I'm saying this, I'm saying this. If I'm saying that, and if I'm not saying anything, I'm not saying anything. And this is because for me, I feel that if I'll say this and not follow through, it will be betrayal of self. Before I'm going to be betraying my family and whoever, it will be me betraying myself. And how am I going to be living with myself if I'm able to betray myself? So this decisiveness is very important, not just for divorce, even for marriage itself. Because we get married, but when we get to see what marriage is, we start to, and when you are not sure, you are still not able to say, actually, let me tap out of it and make that decision again, So what you've said, it can be used across anything in life. Just be a decisive person.
Be clear on the why.
Yeah.
Be clear on the why and stand by the why. And like I say, the advantage of divorce is that it ushers you into rebirth. But at the same time, let's not glorify singlehood unnecessarily.
Hallelujah.
You stand to gain in remaining in your marriage if it is healthy. Healthy, I mean that there isn't any physical, emotional, or financial abuse. You stand to achieve more in a partnership.
Yeah.
You stand to accumulate more in a partnership. Your children stand to have the benefit of having mom and dad present in a partnership. So by all means, try to stay married.
Yes.
By all means, become an activist of solving problems that you come across in your marriage. Don't see divorce as a get out of jail quick card because it's costly. It's a death of something and you are choosing to now travel on this road alone. So think it through.
I love that you said that. And I always say that there's less encouragement of marriage. And I think it's a whole conversation. Let me leave it. How can people get a hold of you?
Okay. Let me just give out my mobile number. I hope I'm not going to regret this.
I hope so too.
You can leave me a DM on WhatsApp. My mobile number is 084 640 2140. My mobile number is 084 640 2140. I'm also on Instagram, Daphne Masego Mangadi. Our law firm also has a website. You can just Google Mangadi Masego Attorneys.
Where you said Honeydew, or you told me off air. I don't know if you told me.
Yes, our offices are in Honeydew, which is not too far from Clearwater or Northgate. But we are available to assist people all over Gauteng. We even go as far as the Vaal, Soshanguve, the far east, the far west. We go everywhere in Gauteng.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. You've been of knowledge to me as a woman in general. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. This was great fun.
I hope so. Interviewing an intellect or an academic is always but it's because I'm married and I'm passionate about marriage. And I was able to just hold the conversation with you. Okay? Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Guys, take this moment to hit the subscribe button. It marks the end of the conversation. And I think, let me say, if you still want her to come back, maybe write a WhatsApp to us on 083 7799601. No, actually not that one. We'll leave their email address. Yes, actually email that address, the email address, and say, what do you want us to address in that conversation? Because I know the wives will be saying, oh, you left this and that and that. So let's do that. If you want a second episode with her, write to me what you want us to speak about. And I'll see you in the next episode. Take this moment to hit the subscribe button. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.